అరే మొత్తం కవర్ అవుతుందా? నెక్స్ట్ వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 5. Do this. It is a rod. Find the moment of inertia about this axis which are located at L by 6 meters. Do it. Change. Mass of the rod M length L. Do it. What is the time period of oscillation of the rod? హలో మ్యాక్సింగల్ రాయండి, ఇద్దరు సరిపోయారు. ఒక ఆన్సర్ చెప్పరు, ఆ నలుగురు వెనకాల. ఎంత ఆన్సర్? ఎంతరా లోకేష్ ఆన్సర్ చెప్పరా నాయన? ఒకటన్నా రాజశేఖర్ గారికి ఒకటి ఇచ్చాం ఛాలెంజ్. While he completed a NEET course, long-term course, he need to say one day answer, perfect. At least one answer. అందరికంటే ముందు చెప్పాలి వాడు, ఒక్క రోజన్నా, ఏదో ఒక్క రోజు. దానికి ఏం చేస్తానంటే ముందే లీక్ చేస్తాను. నా మాటకి ఒకరోజు చెప్పు, ఒక క్వశ్చన్ లీక్ చేస్తాను. అక్కర్లేదా? సిగ్గులా. ఎంత ఆన్సర్? ఎంత బిందు? వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఆన్సర్? చరిత, మీనా, అమ్మాయి సమీర, కోలుకుల దయ పక్కన. నువ్వు కోలుకుల దయను, అమ్మాయి కోలుకుల ఎదురు అనేది. హలో కమరాజ్ వల్ల నా మాట ముందుకెళ్ళిపోయి ఎంతరా? Very good. Time period equal to 2 pi root over 7L by 12Z. What is I value first? Tell me. Hey, Matu. I value what, Nana? Iz plus mx square. Hey, Matu. Iz mean ml square by 12 plus m into. What is the x value there? L by 3. L by 3 whole square. What is the total one? What is the total? 36. 7 ml square by 36. And what is the h value there? H value how much? L by 3 only na? H equal to L by 3. So you will get same answer. Is that right? Very good. Next one, example 6. Hey, one thing listen, when any body is suspended from a point by used end nails, always center of mass should be straight to the suspending point. ఎప్పుడు కూడా center of mass ఎక్కడ ఉండాలి? Just below the, straightly below the suspending point. There I have suspended a semicircular disc. What it is? Emrade. This of mass m and radius r. Now, where is the center of mass of the disc now? Tell me. Straight to the suspending point. See, it is the suspending point here. Below that, center of mass is here. This distance called h already know. Now, can you tell me time period of this one? Time period, can you tell me now? Do it. Time period. Do that time period. Find the time period of that one. Mahima lagala mahima cheppale. కిరణ్ మై ఏందో పాట పాడుతుందిరా, ఏం తల్లే? వాట్ ఈస్ ద టైం పీరియడ్? టెల్ మీ. First of all, what is the I value? Can you tell me? Already I told you it in the moment of inertia topic. What is the moment of inertia of the semicircular disc about that axis? Anyone please? Hey Neha, enter moment of inertia about that axis like normal disk ra. Enta? Good. 3 by 2 mr square, right? So the moment of inertia about that axis 3 by 2 mr square. And now the challenge is h. What is the h value there? Find the h value there. How can you get it? Very simple. Either what is this distance? జగన్ చెప్పావు ఏం చెప్పినావురా ఏం చెప్పినావు తప్పురా బాయ్స్ సింపుల్ రా వాట్ ఈస్ ద డిస్టెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ద సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ మాస్ ఫ్రమ్ సెంటర్ ఆఫ్ ద సెమీ సర్క్యులర్ డిస్క్ center of mass have you studied or not recently? Good. 4r by 3.5. That is. And this is what then what is the h value then? From the right angle triangle Pythagoras theorem if you applied, what about the h value there? Root of r square plus 4r by 3.5 whole square na. And you find the time period value. Find the time period value. What is the time period? Same line and one more I am giving you. Right. What is the next one? Semicircular wire of mass m and r. It has suspended from here. Do it right. Find the time period of oscillation. Do it. Check. Last one also. What is the answer? Fahid. Chepa answer everything. అన్ని పేర్లు గుర్తున్నాయో మనకు గుర్తులేవే అమ్మాయి ఫాతిమా ఓకే నీ పేరు ఓకే సైనా రైట్ అదేం లేదు ఏ పేరు నీ పేరు గోపిక ఓకే ఈ అమ్మాయి ఓకే అమ్మాయి ఆయన ఏం పేరు అమ్మాయి రే మర్చిపోయారు నీ పేరు ఏం పేరు నీ పేరు లీనా కదా లీనా enter answer నిత్యమా చెప్పమ్మా దండగమ్మా go and take one more plate for that 2 plates. Hey, what is the answer for this? What is the h value here? I value how much? 2mr square. Good. I value 2mr square. H value what? Root over plus 2r by 5 whole square, right? And with that one, that model over, the topic over. Which one over? Physical pendulum over. Okay na? Next one, keep the heading. దానికి ఆన్సర్ ఏముంటుంది ఏ అండ్ హెచ్ సెర్చ్ చేస్తే ఎంత వస్తుందా అవన్నీ అడిగిద్దా నాకు తెలియదు మీరేం చెప్తే అది ఓకే అంటుంది వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఆన్సర్ ఫర్ దట్ చెప్పు 9 5 Yamma, by 8 r, is that only? Correct. is this into numerator. अरे अरे ना आंसर चले देखो बराबर बराबर दो నాకు మనకి ఎంత మైనస్ ఆన్సర్ చేసావా 3/3 m1 square by h mean root is there na how much are getting then 9/35 comes to numerator 3/5 comes to numerator and in the denominator what we are having here root of r m of under root we are having mg also there is mgr is there here mgr into that is 9 pi square plus 16 that other all okay in that one 2 units into denominator by that what will you get here r cancel here mm cancel what will you get 2 pi root over 9 pi r by 2 into g into root over 9 pi square plus 16 is the answer okay 9 pi square plus 16 okay like that you need to do the next one alage idu kuda cheyali now next one heading please torsional pendulum heading please torsional pendulum heading please torsional pendulum tell me that what is the meaning of torsional pendulum see from a rigid support a body has suspended lines this is a disc for example a disc has suspended from it and for that a string we used here the couple per unit twist is a C and then you couple per unit twist now whenever this disc is at rest here if I put rotated little bit and left it so the tippi vadile em avutare it get rotating like this okay why due to that torsion produced in this spring మీరు ఇప్పుడు కావాలంటే for a string tied a ball and ball if you rotate it little bit will it come back or not again like that why does it come back when you rotate it through an angle theta for example if it has rotated through an angle theta here ఇక్కడ ఉన్నదాన్ని ఇలా కొద్దిగా పక్కకు లాగండి whenever I rotated a little bit what happened this spring has to be twisted ఇదేమవుతుందా ఇది twist out by that in this spring what will produce here restoring torque produced what is produced here torque produced once you pulled aside and released it due to this restoring torque this disc is again coming back by that it's going to executing the oscillations here okay then that pendulum called torsional pendulum what we call it I think what is the restoring torque value here restoring torque value what when I rotated through an angle theta here restoring torque couple whatever we call it that is c theta what is that c theta and what about the deflecting couple mean to deflect it I have applied a couple here so it patkoni deenni ila tippana leda nenu okay for that have I applied some couple on it or not that is called a deflecting couple what we call it couple or deflecting torque whatever okay this is restoring couple anachchu you may call it restoring couple the deflecting couple is equal to what I alpha what is that I alpha okay then both are equal and opposite by that what you are getting now c theta equal to I alpha minus చూడండి నేను ఇక్కడ ఎంత అయితే టార్క్ అప్లై చేస్తానో సేమ్ టార్క్ హ్యాస్ టు బి ఇండ్యూస్డ్ ఇన్ దిస్ స్ప్రింగ్ బై దట్ ఓన్లీ బోత్ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ అండ్ ఆపోజిట్ Both are equal and opposite. What is the theta value from it? Tell me. Minus I by c into alpha na. Then theta equal to minus omega square alpha. Theta directly proportional to minus alpha. It is called what? Radin emanta? Angular SHM condition. What we call it? By that torsional pendulum executing angular SHM. Then what is the time period formula now? Tell me. What is the time period formula? Tell me ma. Time period how much? 2 pi by omega means root over omega value under I by c. Avuna? C theta equal to that is. So 2 pi by c by I of that. C by I. Okay. Here wait. Sorry, alpha alpha equal to minus c by I into theta. Sorry. Alpha equal to minus omega square theta. Sorry. Alpha directly proportional to minus theta. Write down it. That is in what form? A directly proportional to minus x form. Reverse ration. Then what is the answer we are getting? 2 pi root I by c. That is 2 pi root I by c. Rectify that. So with that one, torsional pendulum over. What was over? Torsional pendulum. Next one, conical pendulum and method. Conical pendulum. Conical pendulum. Already you studied it somewhere. Where you studied that? In the circular motion, right? In the horizontal circular motion, we discussed it already. Did you remember it? Idea on that? That one just briefly listen here. Conical pendulum. It is the simple pendulum of length L. It pulled aside and rotated in circular path. Then it going rotating in circular path like this. Now, is it in the cone shape or not? Is it executing circular motion in the horizontal plane or not? Yes. By that it is said we having time period of revolution here. The time period I want to get. How can I get it? When I pull aside from angle theta here, tell me what is the radius of this circular path here? That is r and and whenever the bomb is revolving with angular velocity omega, what are the forces acting on it? Tell me, give me the name of force act of the regular. One is weight, tension, centrifugal force, right? How much? M R omega square, right? And if there is a theta here, this is also theta, then component what here ma? This component is T cos theta. And what is the component here? T sin theta. By that this is called centripetal. T sin theta called what here? Centripetal force. That is equal to what? Mr omega square. And T cos theta value equal to what? Mc. So those you have to equate here. T sin theta equal to Mr omega square. T cos theta equal to M. By divided both, what will you get? Tan theta. Tan theta into G na, tan theta equal to R omega square by G. Okay. What is the omega value coming root of G tan theta by R, right? And what is the R value in the diagram? R value in the diagram L sin theta. Avuna kada? If it is actually when it has pulled aside, it has to come some height. By that it is a L now. It is not L. Can be L kaadu. It can get a L. Avuna? By that, what is the R value here? L sin theta. That is, if I wrote here, what I will get now root over G tan theta by L sin theta. What will I get finally? Root over G cos theta by L. అంతేనా? వేరా తప్ప అంత సీరియస్గా చూస్తున్నాక ఏం తప్పుందా ఏదో సంథింగ్ అదే కదా 2 by omega what? Time period equal to 2 pi root over L cos theta by G. That is the answer. Write down it. Okay, na? The data time period of which one? Conical pendulum. ఏ pendulum అది? Conical pendulum. Okay, now over. Last topic of this chapter together. After that, we will go to the gravity. ఇది కూడా స్టడీ అవర్ ఇస్తానని చెప్పారా మీకు? కాల్ ఇస్తాము ఎప్పుడు? లాస్ట్లో 1 hour ఇస్తాం. రైట్ డౌన్ was the next one? Superposition of SHMs. The heading plays superposition of SHMs. Superposition of SHMs. Listen. దీంట్లో case 1. Write down case 1. Superposition of two SHMs. Case 1 and write it. Superposition of SHMs. Okay, which are in the same direction. Which are in the same direction. Already known well about it. At the starting of this chapter itself, I told that one that see here. Two SHMs are there here along X direction. A direction along X direction. Right. One having amplitude A1, another one having amplitude A2. Okay, clear? At that time, the displacement of first particle is x1, that equal to A1 sin omega t. And displacement of the second particle at time t, second c, A2 sin omega t plus phi. Whenever both were superposed, what about the resultant displacement value? According to principle of superposition, x equal to x1 plus x2, right? So, according to principle of superposition, x equal to x1 plus x. Alright, I told you this model already. In both of them, which one having small phase? Already we told it. Small phase one, which one? First one. That's amplitude you take as what? A vector in the horizontal direction. Cheppama, guntunda. Small phase one you take as horizontal vector, and large phase one. Large phase amplitude how much here? 8. What is the phase difference between these two? 5. By that second amplitude so called A2 bar you take as another vector whichever inclined at an angle of theta with respect to A1. This is called A2 bar. Then where is the resultant of both one? The further two vectors resultant where it is? Yeah, according to parallelogram law, if you form the parallelogram here, the diagonal is going to be the resultant. Avuna kada? What about the resultant magnitude here? Yeah. Here value know well. What is that? Root over A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi theta. Sorry. And what about the direction of the resultant? Direction of the resultant how much? Alpha. Alpha value what? Tan inverse A2 sin phi by a1 plus a2 cos phi. After obtained both one, how do you write the resultant equation here? X equal to AR sin of formula any small phase plus plus alpha. Small phase plus alpha. What is the error value obtained? That one. Alpha value this much. Small phase enter right. రెండిట్లో small phase ఏది? Small phase ఎంత అన్నట్టు. Phase only. Omega. ఇదే ఆ phase అంటే ఇది. Both are the small. Omega. By that in this place you need to write that only. By that the resultant equation you are getting as root over a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi into sin of omega t plus tan inverse of this total. Adantara I am reading pattade alpha value indira. Write down this. This is called the resultant displacement equation. What we call it? Resultant displacement equation. Write down it. ఎప్పుడు when two SHMs in the same direction are superposed. Both are in the x direction అని ఇవ్వాలి. Both are in the x direction. రెండోది కేసు చూడండి. Next one, write down when two SHMs in mutual perpendicular direction are superposed. In mutual perpendicular direction are superposed. Two SHMs in mutual perpendicular direction are superposed. Mutual perpendicular direction are superposed. The heading. Listen. Here two SHMs are there. One is executing along x-axis with amplitude a mark. Another one is executing along y-axis with amplitude of b. What amplitude b? If they were superposed, what about that? Displacement of first one means x equal to a sin of omega t plus omega t sorry y equal to b sin of omega t plus phi. Array దీంట్లో what is the y by b value or y by b value what is sin of f omega t plus phi sin of a plus b. What is the formula for sin of a plus b then? Sin A cos B plus cos A sin B, right? Then what is the sin omega t value here? X by A na? So x by A into cos phi plus root over 1 minus x square by a square sin square sin phi, right? Na దీని లాగా cos omega అంటే ఇలా రైట్స్ నరా రైట్స్ అరే cos omega cos square theta ఫార్ములా ఏంది cos theta ఫార్ములా root of 1 minus sin square theta అదే root of 1 minus sin square theta means x square by a square from 1 okay that I wrote here. ఇప్పుడు if you solve it the answer what you are getting means right. On simplification of above, what we will get means x square by a square plus y square by b square minus 2xy by AB cos phi equal to sin square phi. That you are getting. Just the test. Okay, now if you solve it, the equation what you are getting is this much: x square by a square plus y square by b square minus 2xy by AB cos phi equal to sin square phi. This is the equation of it. If we know first one, if phi equal to phase difference is equal to 0 degrees. What about the equation? Name of the Japalra Dayal. If phi equal to 0, what about that equation? Entra x square plus y square x by a plus x by a minus y by b whole square equal to 0. Let's say that. What is the y value from it? B by a into x. It is which equation, right? Straight line equation. What is that? Straight line. By that, in this case, the resultant most will be in straight line shape. This shape not the straight line or not. That's being like this. Write down it. Write down the shape. Phi equal to 180 degrees. Chepra. Apne doctor. Phi equal to 180 degrees. What about the y value you are getting? Y value how much? Minus b by a into x. Same ide vastadi, plus vastadi kaadu. Error a plus ayada. By that what you are getting? Y equal to this. This is the equation of what? Straight line with a negative slope. By that what is the shape of the curve you are getting? Line. Okay. Write down it. Third one. If phi equal to 90 degrees, can you tell me what is the equation? If phi equal to 90 degrees, then what is the equation you are getting? X square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. And then that is the equation of what? Helix. Okay, that is the equation of what? Helix. By that the resultant motion will be in the elliptical shape. Shape ఎలా ఉంటుంది? ఇక్కడ resultant motion ఎలా ఉంటుంది? Straight line. ఇక్కడ కూడా straight line. అక్కడ helix. Okay. So the graph here is the elliptical shape. It is A na, it is B na. Next one. If phi equal to 45 degrees, then what about it? Phi equal to 90 degrees and A equal to B అయితే, then what about the equation? Same pi there. If I put on A and B as equal, what is the equation I am getting in the above one? X square plus y square equal to A square. That is the equation of circle. We can starting by చెప్పాను గుర్తుందా? Reference circle is when I am discussing at that time I told you. మీరు రాసుకున్నారు కూడా ఏంటి? The superposition of two perpendicular SHMs is called circular motion అని చెప్పాను. అవునా? అదే. By that here x square plus y square equal to a square. This is resulting what? Circular motion here. What is that? Circular motion here. Right. Next one. If phi equal to 45 degrees, what next tell me? If phi equal to 45 degrees, then what is the equation, right? What's the equation, tell me? What is the equation? 5.45 enter. X square by a square plus y square by b square minus 2xy by root 2 by ab equal to 1 by 2. అవునా కదా? ఏరా that is the equation of what? That equation is called oblique ellipse equation అంటారు. ఏమంటారని? Oblique ellipse. By that the shape of the curve you are getting is oblique ellipse. That will be like this. Okay, ఇలా ఉంది. And all these graphs what I drawn out here are called Lissajous figures. What we call them, tell me? Lissajous figures అంటారు. ఏమంటాం ఏంటి చెప్పండి? Lissajous figures. Okay, yes, okay. With that one, this topic over. No problem, guys. How the time grade related with the length and zero? Well, by the time grade can application Japan. Okay, all the applications I told you for simple pendulum and spring. So many we have discussed. మొన్న ఒక ప్రాబ్లం చేసి ట్రై చేశారు అది. Did you try that one? Thank you. Write down this problem. నేను క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతాను ఏదో చెప్పాను కదా. Right. There is a pulley having the mass m and radius r. For that, a string is passed over it, and a spring has to be connected of constant k, and here a body has to be connected. Its mass m. Now the time grade of that body I want to get. What I want to get now? Time grade of that body. ఎలా చేద్దాం? ఎనర్జీ కన్జర్వేషన్ మెథడ్ ఇది కూడా ఎలా చేయొచ్చు మనం గుర్తుందా? ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి. వన్స్ ఇప్పుడు ఈజ్ న్యాచురల్ లెంత్ కనెక్ట్ చేయకముందు స్ప్రింగ్ ఇక్కడ ఉందనుకుంటే దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ న్యాచురల్ లెంత్. బాగా అండి బాడీ కనెక్ట్ చేస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? The body connected to this will it come down to some level or not here? Has it expanded or not? Spring first. Spring alignment also there. That is it will let as x. Now the body is under equilibrium. Now the body is under equilibrium. After that, what's the method? You need to imagine to pull that to a arbitrary point. అవునా కదా? Arbitrary point దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళింది అనుకుంటే here the body has possessed ఇది x అయితే ఇది y. At the time body is possessing the velocity or not? Here here ఏది ఆర్బిటరీ పాయింట్ అని చెప్పాను. ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్ అంటే ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది, ఇది ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్, ఇది ఆర్బిటరీ. ఓకే, ఎట్ ఆర్బిటరీ పాయింట్ మీన్ పాయింట్ అంటే ఏదో ఇక్కడ విచ్ ఇస్ ద మీన్ పాయింట్. సో కాల్డ్ దిస్ ఇస్ దీని ఏమన్నా ఈక్విలిబ్రియం పాయింట్ ఆర్ మీన్ పాయింట్. మీన్ పాయింట్. ఓకే, నౌ ఎట్ ఆర్బిటరీ పాయింట్ ద బాడీస్ వెలాసిటీ v అనుకోండి, and angular velocity of the rotation of the disc is omega. Pulley is nothing but disc only na. Pulley is nothing but what here? Disc only. And one thing, whenever it is rotating with the angular velocity omega, listen, the spring whatever connected here having velocity here how much? Ikkada enta velocity deeniki v. Ikkada v, ikkada v, ikkada v, ikkada v, ikkada v. and this rotation velocity also what here r omega. Appudu v and r omega both are equal. Rendu em avutayi ikkada v and r omega both are equal. So that is the one equation you need to have in the brain. ఇప్పుడు టోటల్ అనేది ఈక్వేషన్ అంటారు ఎట్ ఆర్బిటరీ పాయింట్. దాన్ని డిఫరెన్షియేషన్ చేసి ఈక్వల్ టు 0 చేయాలి. ఆల్రెడీ వి డిస్కస్డ్ ఇట్ దిస్ మోడల్. చేయండి చూద్దాం. డూ ఇట్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద టోటల్ ఎనర్జీ ఆఫ్ ద బాడీ దేర్? టక్కటగా చెప్పాలా నాగమని. విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు విచ్ వన్ యూ వాంట్ రైట్? న్యాచురల్ లెంత్. న్యాచురల్ లెంత్ టర్మ్స్ రాయండి. అయితే వన్ మోర్ థింగ్, ఇక్కడ ఇంకోటి రాయండి. When the water spring came from natural length to here, why does it extended from here to here? Because weight of the body. Weight of the body what? mg. mg equal to k. Avuna kada? Kera. mg equal to k. That is equation 1. Write down next one. Total energy right above. With respect to natural length, total energy write down. What is the total energy there? Tell me. Endra. Total energy how much? Say, cheptu Neha. First of all, what is the potential? Potential of the body enter minus mg gatti చెప్పాలంటే అందుకే బాగా తినాలి. What about next kinetic energy of the body? Half mv square plus what about the kinetic energy of the disc? Half I omega square. Half I omega square, right? Got it? Plus what is the kind of energy stored in the spring? Energy stored in the spring and the half k into x plus y whole square. ఇది రా మొత్తం ఎనర్జీ. అవునా కాదా? దీన్ని డిఫరెన్షియేషన్ చేయండి. డూ ఇట్. Differentiate it and make it equal to 0 and make it equal to 0. Do it. When I differentiated it, x constant కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ దాని differentiation ఏమవుతుంది 0. See here, if I differentiated it with respect to time on both sides, what I will get d total energy by dt equal to what I will get right now minus mg dy by dt and enter v name. Actually x differentiation is 0, it is v hyper plus what about the differentiation of this second term? It is different half m 2va. avuna kada? And what is the differentiation of next term? r square cancel m by 4 into 2va hyper plus half k into idendra 2 into x plus y into what next? Emostara x plus y into x plus y again differentiated 0 plus v. That దేని 0 పెట్టేస్తాయి. ఏమేమి క్యాన్సిల్ అవుతాయంటే వాట్ అండ్ వాట్ ఆర్ క్యాన్సిల్ అవుట్. v తీసేయచ్చు, 2 క్యాన్సిల్, v క్యాన్సిల్, 2 క్యాన్సిల్, v క్యాన్సిల్, v క్యాన్సిల్. Why? Because v is sent under 0, right? Because d by dt value 0 కాబట్టి ఇది కావాలంటే ఇలా పెట్టుకోండి. d by dt equal to 0 అని పెట్టుకొని రాసుకోండి. సరే మళ్ళీ స్టెప్ రాయకూడదు. దీన్ని ఓవర్ వాట్. ఓకే, వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఆన్సర్ దెన్ టెల్ మీ. 0 ఈక్వల్ టు ఏమేమి ఉండాలి టర్మ్స్ అక్కడ మైనస్ mg ప్లస్ me ప్లస్ 2 క్యాన్సిల్ mi 2a ప్లస్ kx ప్లస్ ky kx ప్లస్ ky What and what are cancelling that? The line cancel outside. NJ and K. Why? Because I wrote here NJ equal to K. Okay, then what is the remaining one? Tell me. 0 equal to A if I took common M plus M by 2 into X plus K1. What was the A value from the timing? A value what from that? Minus A y by M plus M by 2. And what is this form? Minus omega square y. Then omega equal to what? Root over K by M plus M by 2. Hybrid entropy bro? Hybrid what? Root over 2K by M plus, 2M plus M. Then the hybrid equal to 2 pi root over 2K by 2M plus M by 2K. This is the answer. That is the time period of that body. Understand it well? Is there any doubts? Era అర్థమైందా? ఎరా చక్రి ఏం కొద్దిగా అర్థమైందా ఒక లైన్ అన్న దీంట్లో నిజమా ఇది అంటారు చెప్పరా ఏమర్థమైంది చెప్పరా ఏ దీంట్లో ఒక్క స్టెప్ అర్థమైందని చెప్పరా నాకు సిగ్గులాగా ఏమర్థమైంది చెప్పరా అంటే ఒకటి చెప్పలేకపోతున్నావు ఒక్కటి చెప్పరా ఒక సింగిల్ టర్మ్ అర్థమైంది సార్ దీనికి ఇది అందుకు రాశారు మీరు అని చెప్తే నేను ఓకే చప్పట్లు కొట్టిస్తాను సందర్భం ఏం డౌట్ ఏమైనా ఉందండి మరి ఏంది అటు బోర్డు సీరియస్గా పగిలిపోద్దు అయిపోయిందా ఓవర్ నెక్స్ట్ ఓకేనా హౌఎవర్ this chapter over. Problem 8 okay. One problem you do later on we'll go to the gravitation. Gravitation and antimatter. Write down. Find the time period of a loaded spring. Time period of a loaded spring. Loaded spring in which the mass of the spring is 100 grams and mass of connected body is 1 kg. And K equal to 200 Newton per meter. Change.
ప్రజెంట్ అని ఎవరు చెప్తాను గోడకి చెప్తానా ఏమన్నా కాలం సాయి శశిధర్ చక్రధర్ కియాన్ లోకేష్ కాల్ రవిచంద్ర
What is the answer? Tell me. Huh? Very good, very good. Is that fine? Write down next chapter reading material. Leave one page and write the gravitation reading material. Hey, write down gravitation. First, you need to write the introduction on gravitational force. What did you know about gravitational force? Anyone, please? It is one of the basic force in the universe. Write down that point. It is one of the basic force in the universe. It is one of the basic force in the universe. And one more thing, where do you find that gravitational force generally? Between the bodies having some mass. Okay, right now, this force existed between the bodies having some mass. Between the bodies having some mass. Now we would like to write down the characteristics of gravitational force. Ready, minute? Characteristics of gravitational force. What are the characteristics of that one? Tell me one by one. Alright, gravitational force always in attractive nature. Avuna? Write down that point. The gravitational force is always in attractive nature. Rendodi. Alright, the gravitational force between two bodies, is it depending on the medium between the bodies? No. Okay, write down that point. The gravitational force between the bodies is independent of intervening medium. Intervening medium. Third one. The gravitational force is a central force because why do we call it as central force? Because it acts along the line joining the centers of two bodies, right? Because it acts along the line joining the centers of the bodies. The line joining the centers of the bodies. Along the line joining the centers of the bodies. Next point. The gravitational force between two bodies. Forms action reaction pair. One more property, what is another property of gravitational force? It is the weakest force. Write down. It is the weakest force in the nature It is more pronounced. It is more pronounced when the body's mass is large. But it is more pronounced when body's mass is large. And listen. And if these two bodies are there, between them the two disks, is there gravitational force or not? Yes. That is said to be what? Very less. Whereas if you take in the gravitational force between the two planets or planet and star, how it is? It's going to be large or enormous. Why? Because there the body's mass is very high. By that date the gravitational force is said to be very high, but whereas in these two bodies case it is very less. By that, depending on the body's masses, its value is going to be present. Gravitational force value will be present. Okay, that's the meaning of that. And one more thing, gravitational force is a long range force. Right on that point, it is a long range force. Gravitational force is a long range force. Long range dial. Long range force. Why do we call it as long range? You know well, even though sun is at 15 crore kilometers from here and Earth is under control of sun, right? Under control of sun. Like that is going to acting through long distances. Not only Earth, behind that there are 5 more planets. All of them are they in the control of sun or not? Yes. They are at a too long distance. Okay. Even though they are at a long distance, they are in the controlling of the gravitational force of the sun. In long range. Next one ending. Why does the gravitational force exist between two bodies? The human body తీసుకున్నా లేదు body of book తీసుకున్నా between the bag and table and gravitational force will be there. Why does the gravitational force between the bodies tell me? Because there is exchange of some invisible particles between the bodies called gravitons. What are those? Gravitons. A graviton nothing but what? Gravitational energy packet. What we call it? That invisible particles, so-called gravitons, are exchanging between the bodies. Due to that exchanging phenomena, we are having the gravitational force between any two bodies. Okay, right on that point. The gravitational force existed. The gravitational force existed between the bodies due to due to the exchange of due to the exchange of the invisible particles called gravitons. Invisible particles called gravitons. Bracket lo graviton అంటే ఏం చెప్పారు? Gravitational energy packet. Gravitational energy packet. Okay, what characteristics or properties of gravitational force? Thereafter, what would you like to know? Newton's law of gravitation. What next? Tell me. Study method. Newton's law of gravitation. Or universal law of gravitation. What is the statement? What is the statement for universal law of gravitation? Tell me. You studied it from 9th class or 8th class, I think. What is the universal law of gravitation statement? The gravitational force between two bodies, okay, separated by some distance, is directly proportional to what? Tell me. Product of the mass of the bodies and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them, right? That is a statement. Statement రాసుకుంటారా లేదు ఇదే రాస్తారా డైరెక్ట్ రాస్తారా కావాలా సో గ్రేడ్ ఇదండి ఆ సిగ్గు The gravitational force between two bodies and gravitational force between two bodies separated by some distance. Separated by some distance is directly proportional to the product of their masses. And inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. And acts along the line joining the centers of two bodies. Listen, whenever two bodies are there here, this body is it attracted by this or not? Here, this body also attracted by that. Then what is the gravitational force on first one here? F12 bar. It is the gravitational force acting on first body due to second body, and gravitational force acting on the second body due to first body is this. How they are both equally presented but opposite in the direction. You are seeing clearly there. By that, what was the magnitude of these two? Equal and opposite. By that only I told you, the gravitational force between two bodies forms action reaction pair. Action reaction pair. Their magnitude only F here. That is directly proportional to this. And then what about the F value? Then if I combine both, what will I get? If I remove that proportionality, what I will get? G m1 m2 by r square na. What is G there? Write down where G is called universal gravitational constant and what we call it? Universal gravitational constant. What is the value, Rare? What is the value? Tell me. 6.6 into 10 to the power minus 11. And then 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11. And unit what are G? What is the unit for G ma? Newton? Per kg square. Second je ka abhi friend hai ba. Any second term will leta hai no. That is the universal gravitational constant. Okay. Next. Would like to know about vector form of universal law of gravity. What do we want to know here? Vector form of heading method. Vector form of universal law of gravitation. Alright, yeah. In this coordinate system, I have two particles here of mass is already m2. Okay, and their position vectors are what here? R1 bar and R2 bar here. Okay, now the separation between them is this one. And if you want, write down the gravitational force acting on the first body due to second body. That means F1 to the F1 to magnitude enter G m1 m2 by R. This R another R square. And then I mean here G m1 m2 by R. But one thing, is it scalar or vector here? Here is a scalar. What we call it as scalar. How do you convert it into vector? By multiplying with a unit vector in the direction of F12. What is the direction of F12 here? It's only the F12. Right. In the direction, the unit vector presented here is in the direction of R12. And in this direction, this is the vector what I have here. That vector is called position vector of second one with respect to first one. Alright? Sorry. It is called what? R21 bar. R21 bar mean what? Tell me. Position vector of second particle with respect to first particle. అవునా కదా? అయితే ఏ డైరెక్షన్ లో యూనిట్ వెక్టర్ అంటే ఎంత? R21 cap. ఏం చెప్పండి? R21 cap. That I am multiplying here. By that F12 if I want to convert it to vector, I am multiplying this with what here? It is called what? R21 square into R21 cap. Sorry. Just I multiply this with that. ఇక్కడ కూడా 1 to 1 పెట్టుకోవచ్చు మీరు. సో 1 to 1 1 అయితే ఒక పని ఏంటంటే మీకు సిమిలారిటీ రావాలి అంటే దీన్ని 1 to 1 పెట్టుకుంటారు. దీన్ని 1 to 1 పెట్టుకుంటే ఇక్కడ 1 to వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ 1 to కావాలి. కన్ఫ్యూజ్ కాకుండా. ఓకే. R1 సారీ R21 is ఎందుకంటే R21 why do you need to write R21 only there because position vector of second particle with respect to first particle. ఒకవేళ ఎలా తీసుకుంటే వెక్టర్ దీని ఏమనాలి పొజిషన్ వెక్టర్ ఆఫ్ ఫస్ట్ పార్టికల్ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు సెకండ్ పార్టికల్ అది r12 bar out anyhow in the direction of f12 bar which vector only we are having here r21 ఏదుంది మనకి ఇక్కడ r21 కాబట్టి r21 నే బెటర్ r21 స్క్వేర్ అని పెట్టుకోండి సార్ నా ఇప్పుడు ఏమొస్తుందిరా ఇది వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఈక్వేషన్ ఫర్ గెటింగ్ g m1 m2 by r21 కి ఫార్ములా ఏంట్రా what is r21 1 bar mean r21 bar mean what r2 bar minus r1 bar కదా సో దీన్ని సింపుల్ గా మీరు ఎలా రాయొచ్చు mod of r21 bar whole square into r21 bar by mod r21 bar అంతేనా totally how much you are getting tell me f12 bar equal to what will you get mod tell me f12 bar equal to g m1 m2 by mod of r2 bar minus r1 bar whole cube into r2 bar minus r1 bar that is r into between and write down that is the vector form of f12 bar. Similarly how do you write f21 bar? f21 bar how do you write similarly opposite ante kada f21 bar equal to g m1 m2 by r1 bar minus r2 bar whole cube into r1 bar minus r2 bar right clear ఈ రెండు ఏమరా ఈక్వల్ ఆపోజిట్ ఈక్వల్ both are equal here but opposite that we have proven here write down that ఏంట్రా వాట్ ఈస్ ద మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ r21 bar r21 bar అంటే ఏం చెప్పండి పొజిషన్ వెక్టర్ ఆఫ్ సెకండ్ పార్టికల్ విత్ రెస్పెక్ట్ టు ఫస్ట్ పార్టికల్ r12 అంటే position vector of first particle with respect to second particle that is called vector form of the gravitation law what we call it tell me vector form of universal law of gravitation okay ఓకే ప్రాబ్లం చేద్దామా టైం ఎంత అయినా 9 10 ఇస్తాం 1 అవర్ అని చెప్పాను కదా లేదు 45 మినిట్స్ కావాలా ఎలా రండి వాచ్ ముందు పెట్టుకుని మళ్ళీ ఉంచున్నాం ఏం కదా Sun study అడగాలి రైట్ డౌన్ టక్ రాయాలి okay there are two bodies here 3 kg and 2 kg separated by 2 meters. Find the gravitational force between them. Chandra, do it fast. What is the gravitational force magnitude? Enter answer. How much? Enter an number. Very good. Okay. Next one. Again. Second problem. 10 minutes for 10 problems. Can I bother? 10 problems. Example, do it. Hey, there is an equilateral triangle. At the vertices of the equilateral triangle, 3 bodies were placed here of mass m, m, m. Silent error. Find the gravitational force on any one of the body. Do it. Change. Find the gravitational force on any one of the body. On any one. Do it fast. Enter answer. On anyone, get on the gravitational force. Anyone did it? There are determined board size and balance. నీకే బోర్డు రాసి అడుగుతా ఉంటాం రాసే వాళ్ళకి తెలుస్తుంది కదా అంతేనా మీ ఫీలింగ్స్ హలో మీనా ఏం ఆన్సర్ దయం అయిపోయిందా ఎంత ఆన్సర్ √3 వెరీ gm²/s అరే ఎలా చేయాలమ్మా లిజన్ I am selecting this particle right. Over that I want to get the force. Then tell me, it attracted by how many bodies? 2 bodies. One is this attraction, another one is one more attraction here. Okay, that attractions are they both are equal or not? Yes. Why? Because these 2 particles are identical and that both are at the same distance from here. By that if you let as the f bar, it's also going to be f bar. Both are inclined at 60 degrees. Then what about the resultant of these 2? The resultant magnitude you know well, that is the root of f² plus 2f² cos 16. By that what will you get here? √3 here. F mean what here? Array. What is the gravitational force between these 2? Rendit madhya enter gravitational force according to universal law. Gm1 m2 by a square and then the gm² by a square. And their answer. Write down that. Next one. Enjoy it. Are 10 నిమిషాలు 10 ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ అంటే 4 నిమిషాలు సమ్మరైజ్. Yeah. It is a square of side length a. There are 4 particles here. I mean, happy birthday. God bless you. But there are chocolate too. గట్టిగా ఇస్తారు మన వాళ్ళైతే ఇస్తాం అంత ఎవరన్నా రేపు బర్త్డే ఉందనే ఎవరిదైనా ఈరోజు రేపట్లా ఎవరిదనే మదన్ గారిని చేసుకోరా నేను చేసుకున్నా వాడిని ఎవరిది సండేనా ఫైండ్ ద గ్రావిటేషనల్ ఫోర్స్ on any one of the body. Do it. Same like earlier. M brings it. Survey radar. ఒకరు కూడా ఆన్సర్ చెప్పండి. ఆ గోడకి వేసి కొట్టుకోండి చాలా బ్రెయిన్ షేక్ అవుతుంది. నర్వ్స్ యాక్టివేట్ అవుతుంది. చూస్తున్నారా? వెరీ గుడ్. ఎంత రూట్ రూట్ 2 ప్లస్ మాట్లాడుతురా మా ఎంత మా సరే ఏం పేరు నీ పేరమ్మా? ఫైజా. చరిత. అరే ఎన్ని ఫోర్స్ ఉన్నాయా దీనిపైన? హౌ మెనీ ఫోర్స్ ఆర్ దేర్ ఆన్ ఇట్? 3. ఇట్ అట్రాక్టెడ్ బై 3 పార్టికల్స్. అయితే ఒకటి, దిస్ ఈజ్ వన్ అట్రాక్షన్, దిస్ ఈజ్ వన్ అట్రాక్షన్, దీస్ టూ ఆర్ ఈక్వల్ ఆర్ నాట్? yes. Why? Because these two are at same distance from here. Okay, by that, if you let it as F here, it's also F. One more attraction is due to this, but it is at some other different distance from here. What is the distance from here to there? Root 2a. Distance is differed. By that, the force whatever acting here is F1 bar and what we call it F1 bar. By that, totally how many forces are there? 3. In them, these two are equal. What about the resultant of these two? Root 2a. What is the resultant magnitude? Root 2a. Are you clear? Then overall resultant force how much on it means? For these two resultant root 2f plus it is what? F1. Totally F1 plus root 2f. F1 plus root 2f. So by that the resultant force on it equal to F1 plus root 2f. Now F1 and enter the force between these two. What is the force between these two? See, M1 M2 by root 2a whole square plus root 2 into F1 time force between these two. What is the force between these two? Gm square by a square. What do you take common from both? Gm square by a square. If you took common 1 by 2 plus root 2, you are getting what will you get? Add 1 by 2 is of the here. 1 and 1 by 2 plus root 2 is the answer. There is a button with more board. Idiot. Second to chapter. Yeah, I didn't chapter. Yeah, Nalamalana. Yes, I tell me. I understand the fact. Right. Time. Next problem. Do this. Okay, big point. Write down the question. Find the resultant gravitational force. Find the resultant gravitational force on 3 kg body. Do it. Find the resultant gravitational force on 3 kg body, 2 kg body. And 1 kg body. మూడు చేద్దాం చేద్దాం. First ఏ బాడీ చేస్తున్నా? which one you want to select? 3 kg na? 1 kg na? 1 kg. If you choose that first on 1 kg and we say write down diagram. If you selected 1 kg body here, how many forces are there on 1 kg body? Tell me. Hey, how many are there over it? 2. One is due to 2 and one is due to 3 kg. Both are attracting like this. Okay, one more thing. If it is 5 meter and if it is 53 degrees, what about this value? Right? 3 meter, it is 4 meter. Is that 4 meter or not? Yes. Is that 3 meter or not? Yes. Then how many forces are acting here? It is F1 bar, it is F2 bar. So two forces are there. At what angle they are? 37 degrees. F1 magnitude what right here? What is F1 magnitude? Tell me fast. G ni alage pedesandi. G M1 M2 mean 1 into 3 mean 3 by R square and delta 16. Right. Similarly, what about the F2 value? Tell me. Hey, F2 entra G 1 into 2 by 25, right? I got F1 and F2. That F1 and F2 both are inclined at what angle? 37 degrees, right? Then what about the resultant value? The resultant force on 1 kg body equal to root over what the value tell me? Hey, F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos 37 degree. But F1 and F2 need to write there. అంతే కదా ఏరా అయిపోయిందా అది చేయాలన్న మీరు చేస్తారు తర్వాత చేయండి రోజు రెండవది సిమిలర్లీ ఆన్ 2 kg బాడీ హౌ డు యు గెట్ ద ఫోర్స్ వాల్యూ diagram redraw again 2 kg body here it is 1 kg it is 3 kg na tell me it is 5 it is 4 it is 3 na what is the how many forces the body experience in 2 kg body? Two forces. One is due to 1 kg, another one is due to 3 kg. By that it experiencing one force in this way, that is F1 bar, another one is in this way, F2 bar. F1 magnitude. What is the magnitude of F1? Tell me. G 1 into 3 by 25. F2 right? G into 3 into 2 by 9. What is the angle between F1 bar and F2 bar here? 53 degrees. Then what is the resultant force on 2 kg body? That is equal to root over F1 square plus F2 square plus 2F1 F2 cos 53. Is the answer. That F1 and F2 need to write here. Clear? Similarly, what about the third one? On 3 kg body. On 3 kg body. Diagram again change. It is 1 kg, it is 1 kg, it is 2 kg, it is 3 kg. Tell me that. What about that forces experiencing by 3 kg body? ఏమేమి యాక్ట్ అవుతారా 3 kg పైన ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ one due to F1 bar 1 kg, another one is due to 2 kg. ఇట్లా కదా పెట్టాలి. Attract. F1 magnitude ఎంత? What is the F1 magnitude there? 3 into 1 into 300 3g by 16. Very good. F2 ఎంతమ్మా? 6g by 9. 6g by 9. Then resultant ఎంత? What is the angle between F1 bar and F2 bar? 90 degrees. By the resultant force what here mean? Resultant force on 3 kg body equal to root over F1 square plus F2 square. Another. Because they are perpendicular. Antena? Okay. Enough. Tomorrow we will see the remaining one. Okay. దూరం నుంచి అనుకోండి అబ్బాయి ముగ్గురు వద్దురాడ ఇటు రండి అప్పుడు కిందకి రావాలి.